I built my business from zero to over $100 million in 6 years. And I can tell you, if you want to be successful, avoid crack, crime, and the glory hole at all costs, or end up like Sam here behind the camera.
What? I'm not guilty of any of that stuff. Kayala, tell him no.
Just kidding. Here's 5 things you absolutely must avoid if you want to be successful.
This is my man, Kayala Kanai. Kayala Kanai, he takes entrepreneurs on a journey to grow their business.
Now hang with me until the very end here, because number 5 is the most important to avoid, and yet most people fall for it, and nobody else is talking about this. Now, starting at the top, number 1, don't take unqualified advice. Unqualified advice is the advice coming from people that have never been to where it is that you want to go. They've never accomplished the thing that you're trying to accomplish. You'll be surprised at how many people want to climb out of the woodwork and give you unsolicited advice. Meaning they want to tell you how to do it, how often to do it, what it should look like, when to do it, where to do it, what time, and all these sorts of things. But if somebody has never been to where it is that you want to go, they can't possibly show you how to get there. It's fine to be kind enough to listen and hear them out, but also be wise enough to discard unqualified advice. Number 2, don't compare yourself to others. We live inside of a social media bubble right now where it looks like everybody is living a highlight reel out of some movie. And if you find somebody that is financially successful, you're likely going to see vacations and fancy cars and big homes and all these sorts of things. And at the same time, that's not their everyday life. That's the highlight reel that they want everybody else out there to see. And to a degree, social media has created this unrealistic standard by which many people begin judging themselves. Life is a game of you versus you. Are you better tonight when you lay down your head than you were this morning when you woke up? Do you do something every day that's going to help you improve and get you one step closer, 1 inch closer to accomplishing your goal? When you play the game of you versus you, you inevitably win. When you play the game of comparison, you have no choice but to fail. Number 3, don't live your life by somebody else's set of values. Have you ever struggled with procrastination, hesitation, imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, overwhelm, started something, didn't finish it, set a goal, quit too soon? These are things that most people think are some sort of mystery of human behavior, when in reality, this has been solved by a field of study known as axiology. Through axiology, we can observe that every human being has a hierarchy of values. The things that we value most in life down to the things that we potentially don't value at all. Now, when I say values, I'm not talking about social ideals. Honesty, integrity, fairness, justice. Those are social idealisms. I'm talking about the fact that every day that you and I wake up, there's the things that we prioritize most in our life down to the things that we just never seem to prioritize. Those are our values. Now, our values will always dictate how we invest our resources. Our primary resources are time, energy, and money. However we invest our time, energy, and money will ultimately become our destiny. So when we set goals that are in alignment with our values, we experience inspiration. We don't need external accountability and motivation because we're guided by the spirit within, inspiration. We feel called to do the thing. Do you think that Elon Musk needs an accountability partner for him to build SpaceX? Do you think Jeff Bezos needs somebody to drag him out of bed every morning to go build Amazon, the everything store? No. They were doing what they feel that they are called to do with their life. And when we set goals based on our values, that's how we feel. The challenge is that most of us end up projecting other values onto ourselves. We inject the values of institutions, whether that's educational institutions, religious institutions, work institutions, so on and so forth. Maybe we inject the values of our family or even our overarching society onto ourselves. We try to live by somebody else's set of values. We set goals that are in conflict with our true values. We experience procrastination, hesitation, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, and overwhelm as symptoms of that, which is really designed to help wake us up to the fact that we're pursuing something that's not in alignment with our values so that we can become our more authentic self. So, when we experience those symptoms, that's a wake-up call. What ends up happening is most people set goals that are in conflict with their values because of things that they're projecting on themselves from society and other institutions around them. Then they don't accomplish those goals, they quit too soon, they beat themselves up, they put themselves down, they judge themselves for who they're not rather than love themselves for who they are. Take the time to really truly get to know yourself, what your real hierarchy of values is, and don't let anybody else try to inject theirs onto you. Number 4 is closely related to number 3, and that is don't underestimate the value of self-awareness and self-development. All of the most successful people that I know understand that we are responsible for our outcomes in life, that we are at the fulcrum of our entire life experience. See, most people go through life blaming their shortcomings on everything else out there. They don't have what they want because, their friends, their coworkers, their boss, the economy, the politicians, their upbringing. In other words, if we reverse engineer that thinking, what it means is they can't have what they want in life until they have the perfect economy, the perfect boss, the perfect coworkers, the perfect upbringing, and a bunch of other things that they have no power to change. When we accept that we are responsible for our outcomes, that life isn't happening to us, but we are happening to life, then and only then are we empowered to change our outcomes. From there, we have the opportunity to create new fruits because we're willing to start at the roots. Be willing to tear back the layers of the onion and discover why it is that you show up in certain ways. What challenges, traumas, or life experiences have shaped your belief systems? And what beliefs are you holding on to that might not be supporting you in getting to where it is that you want to get in life? Oftentimes, the goals that we want to accomplish and the beliefs that we're holding on to about ourselves or the world around us are in conflict with one another, and that's why we continuously run into those roadblocks along the way to our goals. In short, it is not about accomplishing something. It's about becoming something. It's not about going out and getting something. It's about becoming the person capable of having that which you seek to have. Number 5, don't get lost in the illusions of life. The masses seek to live a one-sided life. In other words, they think the goal in life is to be always kind, never cruel, always happy, never sad, always peaceful, never wrathful, always positive, never negative. But in contrast, a master knows that both are necessary. If the universe is made up out of energy, and the smallest form of energy is an atom, and an atom is comprised of equal positive and negative charges, and that's what makes up the fabric of the universe, how can anything exist in the universe that isn't both? See, most people will experience things in life and they give it a label. They say that was bad and it shouldn't have happened and ought to have not gone that way. Something else happens, they say that is good, I want more of that. But a master knows that everything is both. In other words, every benefit has a drawback. Every drawback has an equal and opposite benefit. When you understand that, you stop living in the illusions of life. Most people experience life as some sort of disorganized chaos. Things happen in life that make them angry and frustrated, and decades of that, they become bitter and resentful and sabotage their own happiness and success. But a master sees the hidden order in the apparent chaos of life. So one of the ways that this has served me is when things happen in my life that are challenging, I don't get down and beat myself up or get frustrated or angry or bitter. Instead, I begin asking myself, what can I learn from this? Where can I be better as a result of this? What are the benefits of this? In other words, I'm looking to see the other side of things. I'm less riding the roller coaster of life that everybody else is on, and instead saying poised instead of poisoned, magnetic instead of manic. And so this allows me to stay more grounded, centered, and certain despite all the winds of change and chaos that might be, circling around me at times. In short, the masses live in the illusion of chaos, while a master can see the hidden order in the apparent chaos. Obviously, there's a lot more that I could say on this topic, but that's gonna have to do for this simple YouTube video. Hopefully you got value, my friend, and in case we never met before, my name's Kala Kanai. I started out working in a coffee shop like this for minimum wage, and I've gone on now to build a $100 million business. I say that only so that you know that everything I share on my channel comes from real world knowledge of things I've learned, applied, and executed that have helped me create those results, which I'm sharing here in hopes that they help you create similar results as well. Now here comes that shameless plug where I ask you to subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you get notified every week when I drop more content like this. And make sure you watch this next video in the lineup where I'm going to share with you the greatest success secret I ever discovered.